All right, round of 64 action with Wisconsin and Montana. The 3 seed Wisconsin trying to avoid getting bounced by a double-digit seed for the second straight season. Montana trying to get to the second round for the first time since '06. Badgers up 2 here. John Tonje hits the 3 plus the foul. Badgers go up 6 after they make the free throw. He finished with 15. Badgers now up 5. Over to Steven Crowell. Buries the triple. Badgers up 8 after the break. Crowell finished with 18 points early in the second. Wisconsin up 6. John Blackwell gets the bucket plus the foul. Badgers up 9 after the made free throw. And it's not the last we're going to see from John Blackwell. Montana now down 6. Sawyer with the pass over to Money Williams and lays it in. It is a 4-point game. So do we have an upset brewing here early on? We'll have to see. Carter Gilmore for 3, drains it. Badgers answer, now up 7, silencing the crowd a little bit. Few minutes later, Wisconsin now up 9. Nolan Winter knocks down the triple. Badgers up 12, the largest lead of the game so far, just over 3 to go. We mentioned Blackwell drives to the baseline, lays it in, finished with a game-high 19 points. The Badgers roll to win it 85-66. The Badgers advancing to the second round for the first time since 2022. And normally we're talking about John Tonje. He finished with 15 points. We had a lot of guys in double figures here. Steven Crowell with 18 and John Blackwell, the team's leading scorer, with 19 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. All right, back here on CBS Sports HQ, I'm Jacqueline D'Agostino alongside Mike O'Donnell, John Henson. Gentlemen, we were watching this game upstairs, and Mike, we had said, hey, this is kind of shockingly close in the beginning, right? And then towards the end, Wisconsin goes on this like 9-0, 10-0 run and really separates themselves there. Your biggest takeaway, I'll start with you, MOD, on what you saw from Wisconsin in this performance, because at first it looked a little bit closer than we were anticipating.
Yeah, Montana was only down 8 at halftime.
Yeah.
But ultimately in the second half, what we saw was the physicality of a Big Ten team playing against a Big Sky team that just doesn't have the type of size, right? Now Wisconsin won the rebounding battle 40-29. That was a big deal, number one. Number two, even though Wisconsin didn't shoot the ball well, and they only hit 7 threes, there was 30% from the three-point line. Wisconsin, every player that plays well for Wisconsin offensively throughout the course of the season played well in this game, right? Nobody needed to score 30. Nobody needed to drop 25. He had 15 for Tonje, 18 for Kroll, 19 for Blackwell. Winter got in the action with 10. And the rebounding battle, the points in the paint. You know, if you're not shooting the ball well from 3, you got to get it done other ways. You're just kind of like John. You're like almost shaking off that first round kind of nervousness by the time they got to the second half.
Yeah, and if you're going to win in this tournament, you have to win in different ways. They did not play particularly well on the offensive end, but Crowell and Winter were 12 of 16 from the field. Blackwell was 7 from 10 from 2. Montana only has 2 guys over 6'8". They just went down there. They finished. There wasn't much resistance. Credit to Wisconsin understanding what they needed to do in their game plan and winning this game fairly easily towards the end.
Yeah.
You know what needs to get fixed, though? Wisconsin had 11 turnovers, and that's not, you know, red flags, but it's not as if Montana was full court pressing in total and complete denial. John, I think that's got to get fixed. If you're going to play VCU or BYU, that's got to get fixed.
I have VCU getting past BYU, and VCU 20% of the possessions ended turnovers, so that could be a red flag, bad matchup for Wisconsin if they do advance. That'll be something to watch going forward here.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that matchup, right? Whether it is VCU or BYU, and you were talking about it like, hey, maybe not the best offensive performance that we saw from the Badgers, but if we look at the matchup here, whether it is VCU or BYU, who presents the bigger challenge for Wisconsin, do you think, John?
I think from stylistically, I think VCU presents the biggest problem because they're just going to defend. They're going to play a fast turnover kind of game, trying to speed you up a little bit. BYU and Wisconsin, I think they would kind of do a blow-for-blow offensive type game, and it might be a little more in favor of Wisconsin. So either way, those are 2 teams. BYU is probably one of the hottest teams in the country at the moment. So if I'm Wisconsin, I'm sitting back. I'm getting ready for a battle that's going to ensue this next round.
What about you, Mike?
They didn't play good offensively. They still had 85 points.
Yeah.
Wisconsin can go. And if they play BYU, that's first team to 100 100. That is an absolute shootout. VCU is the worst matchup for Wisconsin if Wisconsin wants to try to move on, because what John alluded to, their physicality on the defensive end, they can full court press, they will get up and deny, they will get deflections, they will get steals. That is what they do. And so 100% VCU and their defense poses the biggest threat to Wisconsin moving on to the Sweet 16, although I say that, and BYU is one of the hottest teams in the country, you said it, John, and really good, but that's first team to 100, no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the 85 points. We just saw the graphic there was tied for the third most points that the Badgers have ever scored in the tournament. Yeah, so if we're talking about the race to 100 here, I don't know. I don't want to say concerning, but go ahead.
It's just so crazy hearing Wisconsin race to 100, 85 points. Like, these aren't your daddy's Wisconsin Badgers. So, it's fun to see that, Coach Gard changed the offense philosophy. They're actually one of the best teams in isolation situations on offense, which is rare. When I played Wisconsin, it was like 50-52. Yeah. We hated playing teams like that. So shout out to the coach evolving in this game where offense is kind of going to the forefront.
What's good about Wisconsin's offense, if you go back and you watch clips of them in the half court, it's not as if they can just go and score and play in tempo and play fast break. They can do that, but they can score quickly, and they can score in the middle of the shot clock or the late in the shot clock. There's shooters everywhere. The bigs can shoot. They run good pick and roll action. There still is some of that Wisconsin fundamental of where they just don't, they're never chaotic. There's always good spacing. They just got a lot more shooters, and they shoot shots earlier in the shot clock.
Mike, John, we certainly appreciate it. A lot more where this came from, of course, all day, today, and tomorrow, as again, the Badgers are moving forward. They beat Montana 85-65, and they're going to face the winner of VCU and BYU. The winner of that matchup gets Wisconsin. We talked about the leading scorer for the Badgers in John Blackwell, who had 19 points, I believe, in this matchup. We see it there, 5 boards, 3 assists. Here he is after the game alongside Dana Jacobson. Let's take a listen.
John, 19 points. You guys really had to hold off the Grizzlies for a little while, but for you now getting this first tournament win, I need to see a smile. This has to feel pretty good.
Obviously, it feels good. I know we had a first-round exit last time we were around, but we made sure that ain't happening again, and we made sure we're going to make a run in this tournament. All credit to Montana. They're a great team, well-coached, play the right way, and we just came out and competed for 40 minutes.
And we saw 5 players in double figures. For John Tonje, who normally is leading the way scoring, he wasn't. What did we learn about your team?
We're dynamic. I mean, everybody can go get buckets on our team. And if he's not having a big score night, we know how to pick him up. Steven Craw, he knows how to go. And Xavier Amos came up big today. I'm proud of that guy for sure.
And you as well. Congratulations. Go enjoy it for a moment because it's one more down.
Thank you.
I thought we were going to get a smile at the end there again. I guess not. But yeah, you heard Blackwell there saying, hey, even though if Tonje's not the main guy, we have a lot of different playmakers and we are dynamic. Wisconsin, they're moving on, and make sure you download the March Madness Live app. You can watch every game live on all of your favorite devices and you don't miss any of the action.